everybody, to the Superhumanistic podcast where we talk about all things health and wellness. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts, David and Jessica. Make sure that you hit that follow button on this podcast so you never miss another episode. We put out one episode a week every Saturday. Also hit that follow button on all the socials, YouTube, and don't forget to leave a rating and review and share this podcast with someone that you love so they can get more health and wellness tips to be happy and healthy. Last week, we talked about
Underfueling
deficiencies. So if you have a nutrient deficiency, or you're starting to feel like you're not getting the results from your workouts that you were expecting, perhaps you're feeling fatigued and things like that, go back and listen to last week's episode so you can learn all about what the symptoms are of a nutrient deficiency when it comes to working out and what you can do to correct that and get the results that you should be getting, and also a whole host of other benefits. This week, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, meditation, but more specifically, meditation for those with ADHD. So if you have ADHD or know someone, you've probably experienced the challenges that come with that, such as distractions, racing thoughts, difficulty staying still. My wife thinks that I am ADHD, although I've never been professionally diagnosed. Just because I am so active, I really can't sit on the couch for too long, or I feel like I should be doing something. And especially during the summer, we're always out in Chicago or wherever, hiking, walking, going to museums, going to the beach. It's very difficult to stay home. So I think that's why you think I have ADHD. But the list goes on and on. So what if, meditation could help instead of taking medications or things like that? Make sure that you're still consulting with your doctor. But this could be one tool that you could add to your tool chest and see how that works for you. And then see if that could be something that really keeps you calm there. So what is ADHD? That's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a condition that affects millions of people around the world. You're kind of hyper, easily distracted, those type of things, lack of focus. But what if meditation could help solve that for you? And you're going to jump into that right now.
Yeah. So I just want to say before I get into all of this is that if you do have ADHD, there's nothing wrong with you.
It's a superpower.
It literally is like a superpower. So that's first and foremost. I don't want anyone who has ADHD to feel as if there is something wrong with them. I know there's a stigma that can be put on people when they do have disabilities. So I just want to put out there, nothing is wrong with you. You are perfect the way that you are. That's how you were created. So please know that. And that really is the first step in meditating. When you have your brain that doesn't focus as better or as much as what other people may. I also think that I have a little bit of ADHD, right? ADHD is like a spectrum, so there are different levels to it. I struggle with meditating. Meditation is not my friend. My husband, I'm really jealous of him because he can meditate for probably an hour right now, where I'm I can't go 2 minutes without my mind starting to wander off and having different thoughts. So know that you're not alone in this, that a lot of people do struggle with meditating, and our thoughts are what get in the way of that, but there's nothing wrong with us. So keep trying, keep going is what I have to say for that. Don't use meditation. So the first tip is really to not use meditation to try to fix your ADHD. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you. Meditation isn't about changing who you are as a person. It's just finding a way that can actually help you to become more calm. to have that power over your mind instead of your mind taking over. So you're really kind of gaining that strength back when you start to meditate and you're doing it consistently. Second, it's really not about like controlling the mind. It is more of that mindfulness meditation would be beneficial for people who have ADHD. So really bringing mindfulness throughout your day and in each of your moments, any time of the day, whether that be, okay, I'm noticing that my thoughts right now are kind of out of like, they're going everywhere. So let me just try to focus on like my hands right now. What can I touch? What are the different textures in my environment? So really practicing mindfulness throughout your day will help with meditating as well later on in the day. Another thing to help is aiming to do it daily-ish. So if you skip a day, don't be mad at yourself. You're going to have days where it just isn't going to happen, right? If you skip 3 days in a row, still don't be mad at yourself. Like just get back into the flow of meditating. And it could just be for a minute. Like I said earlier, I am not a pro at meditating as what my husband is. So making sure that I fit in, even if it is a minute of mindfulness, at least I am doing a form of meditation throughout the day rather than nothing. So even a minute is better than not doing any, and staying consistent in doing some sort of meditation daily will help you to be better at meditating as well. For some of us, mindfulness could be finding an anchor in our environment. So the fourth tip is to choose an anchor point. That anchor point could be your breath. For me, that's really hard. And I think that's why I struggle so much with meditating, is because I've always been told it's all about your breath. And it is about your breath. And it is important to focus on breath. But I can't just focus on my breath. Like my mind will wander so much. So find a different anchor point. Maybe you need to meditate with your eyes open and you're looking at a spot in the room and your eyes are on that one spot in the room. So that's your anchor point. And then as soon as you notice throughout the meditation that your anchor point, you're no longer like looking at it or thinking about it, redirect that focus back to that point. Maybe it's a sound, maybe you need music in the background or rain and you're focusing on just that one sound. And as soon as you notice that your thoughts have taken you somewhere else, bring your mind back to that sound again. So having an anchor point will help you to get better at meditating as well. The fifth one is to actually get curious about your bodily sensations. So a lot of times meditating can bring up different sensations in your body. Maybe there's areas of muscle tension and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize I was so tense here. So just notice that as you start to relax your body and your muscles. I know my husband has told me before that when he meditates, and again, this is why I get so jealous of him because it sounds amazing. But he'll hear like popping noises in his neck. Is that right?
Yeah, just as my neck and the muscles in my head start to relax, you can hear them start to pop and just kind of calmly relax and just stop stressing essentially and stop clenching.
Yeah, to me that sounds amazing because I do carry a lot of my stress in my shoulders and my neck. So I'm like, that sounds like the best relief ever. And I hope I can get to that point in my meditating one day as well. So get curious about the sensations that are happening in your body as you start to get into meditating and see like just how the tension kind of dissipates as you go through each day meditating. Number 6 is to incorporate movement. So for people, again, that have ADHD, it is hard, super hard to like be told to quiet your mind. So maybe sitting in the same spot is not the way that you need to meditate. Maybe meditation for you means doing yoga. Yoga is a type of meditation. You are focusing on movements and slowly going through movements, or sometimes fastly going through these movements, but then in the end, slowing down. And that's easier than for you to notice what's happening in your body after you've gone through a hard workout. So that's going to be a tip in a little bit as well. But maybe practicing meditation through movement, whether it be yoga. You could also try mindful walking. So really focusing on your steps that you take. And this is a slow walk. So really like having your heel on the ground and then feeling as you slowly put your foot down with each step that you're taking. I've done this before with some friends of mine and as a lesson for other people. And usually what I'll do is have them take their socks off. So take your shoes and socks off, and we'll be in grass. So it's a little bit easier for us to walk on. But then like slowly feeling the grass beneath our feet as we are moving throughout the yard or area that we're in. So that's another thing that you could do as a meditation. Number 7, find meditative micro hits. So what I mean by this is doing it throughout the day. If you notice throughout the day you're getting more tense, like refocusing your brain to your feet and how your feet are feeling. Refocusing to like, how are my shoulders feeling? And just being mindful in moments. So you don't have to do it for an extended period of time, but finding some sort of time within your day to get a hit of that meditation. Maybe you're cooking, so being very mindful of like the spices you're putting, the smells that you can smell as you're cooking. Maybe you're washing dishes after you've ate and really focusing on like the water and how that feels on your skin. If you're in the shower, how does the water feel as it washes over you? So doing your day-to-day activities, focusing in on what it feels like to be in those activities. Number 8, using guided meditations. I do those. I find that helps me the most with meditating because there's another voice and it guides me through the meditation. As my thoughts start to go off, it brings me back to that anchor point. So guided meditation, there's tons of apps out there. We have talked about those different apps in previous episodes. So go back and listen to our previous episodes on meditating. We'll go through those apps for you there. Number 9, make sure you're comfortable. Meditation's hard in general, but as soon as you start to feel that being uncomfortable, your mind is going to focus on being uncomfortable. So make sure you're comfortable. Maybe grab a weighted blanket. Maybe you're laying down. Maybe your knees are up and your feet are on the ground. Maybe you are sitting up. Maybe you're in a chair. So whatever it is for you, just make sure you're comfortable. Number 10, mixing it up. So again, people who have ADHD, and I truly feel I do too, mixing it up so that you're not getting stuck in the same routine as often as you can, because as soon as you start to feel like you're stagnant and stuck in that routine, that's when you're going to stop doing or trying to do meditation. So mixing it up, following whatever your curiosity is with meditating, and not forcing yourself to stick with just the one thing. And then number 11, show yourself a whole lot of love, right? We're not going to be perfect through anything in life. Meditation is not going to be perfect as well. So keep showing up for yourself, being kind to yourself as those thoughts do come back in, and refocusing. Laugh at yourself as you're making the mistakes or as these thoughts come in like, oh my gosh, yep, here we go again. But try to get back to that anchor point and refocus your brain to whatever that point is, and just be patient with yourself and love yourself, right? That's what I have.
All right. Meditation has been a great tool for me to help me stay in the moment, stop thinking about the past, stop worrying about the future, and really just be with yourself no matter how scattered your brain might feel. Meditation is a great tool, especially for those with ADHD, that you can start implementing into your life. So whether you're just getting started or you've been practicing for a while, start small, experiment, and be patient with yourself, as you were mentioning. So if you've been thinking about trying meditation and you haven't yet, maybe today is the day that you get started. So thank you for joining us today. Make sure that you share this episode with someone that you love, and also subscribe if you found it helpful, and start implementing meditation into your life so that you can have a calmer mind and be more superhumanistic. We'll see you next time.
Bye.